Well, Fabiano needed an Armageddon, a playoff, but Irina Krush did not need any of that. Just cruised through the championship bracket. Irina, first of all, congratulations. How do you feel about this match? It didn't seem like even in the second game, there was no pressure coming from your opponent.
Yeah, no, I feel very happy, and more happy than about the extra $5,000 that Alejandro mentioned. I'm happy about the free day that I'm going to get tomorrow because, you know, honestly, I think it's a bit like a disastrous scenario. Imagine you lose. Instead of getting a free day, you got to prepare for a rapid match. You don't have any free days in the tournament. So, I mean, that was definitely something valuable to me, something that I was much more interested in achieving that day of rest, and just, yeah, that works out perfectly. So yeah, this game, it was pretty much under control. I think it's some interesting things psychologically going on in the opening, right? Because she played this move, Bishop G5. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if they had, you know, she and whoever is, you know, helping her prepare, like, if they had guessed that I might go for this semis, for this Miran. Right. It would be hard to guess that, given that I've never, you know, I haven't played this in years. But she played Bishop G5, and I think, like, psychologically that's a good decision. I mean, I agree with that, like, that she veered away from something that she's been doing more recently to try this one out. But, you know, I had given this also some thought, so what I was going to do, and yeah, the preparation that I did last night, it turned quite useful.
Did you consider taking on C4 and going into any of those crazy Botvinnik lines, or Cambridge Springs was on
Knight
your
D7
mind?
Was decided before last night. I had to, you know, have that kind of question answered because, you know, I saw she had used to play this move, Bishop G5. It's not out of the question that she could return to it. And I think in a situation where you got to win, I think it was just the right choice. And she played it very quickly. So I think it's interesting to ask her, you know, was that something they expected, this kind of opening for me? But anyway, we went into this. I mean, she already had some games in this about like a year or so ago. And yeah, I mean, it was just important. I think like this move E5 was really important. This was my first real think of the game when I realized, you know, actually I can do this move. It's a pretty good moment to do it.
Exactly.
And I was feeling, you know, quite comfortable about my position because often in these positions, the bishop goes back to F8, and I hadn't yet brought him back. So he's actually very useful on A3, not allowing white to fight for the C file. And basically, my approach was like try to be as specific as possible, because when you need a draw to advance, you don't want to play a long game with like, you know, nothing really determines. Like, you want to find those forcing options. And when I played Queen A4, I had seen this line with Knight C5, Knight E4, and I calculated it again to make sure that it was okay. Of course, it's a little dangerous when you give up a piece. Here, there's an interesting move, Rook C3 after pawn takes C4. Yeah, no, keep going. Yeah, so yeah, D6 right here, Rook C3. I don't know if she considered this, but I was like, huh, she can give up another pawn, try to get that rook over. Now, I kind of believed that I should have a defense there, that like it wasn't so bad because her rook on F1 is not taking part in the attack, but there's still something going on. I mean, there's G6, there's also H6, actually, you know, yeah, so I could just say,
challenge.
Yeah, go ahead, take the pawn, because I think my king is getting away. Doesn't look that dangerous, does it? Yeah, no. The bishop's hanging a bit, but other than that, there's not really any threats.
It is an intriguing thought, right, that Rook C3 suddenly, yeah. And like your king has no defenders. Remarkable idea. She played the normal, and I think that she seemed to miss Queen F5, or when she played this whole line.
I don't know, but what can she do though after Rook D1, Queen D7? There's almost not. I mean, like, there's nothing really that white is threatening, right? Black is just up a pawn.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
She had to go into this ending, which you
interesting, because if she goes
well.
Bishop E3, I go Bishop B8, right?
Exactly.
I actually keep my pawn, and there's really no danger with the bishop on B8. I'm not going to give up, you know, the A7 pawn so easily.
We thought that this might be her last chance to try to keep anything alive, but even this position seems to be quite safe for you.
Yeah, I mean, at some point I just go e4, open up the bishop, and yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. I think actually the game got a lot more exciting than I wanted.
Really?
Yeah. No. This was not even
happened?
the excitement that we had on the board was not supposed to happen. Like
Really? When did? Because we thought you were kind of cruising and more or less keeping.
No, I felt like Actually, I thought first of all, I thought her move Queen D1 was very clever. Like if we go back to this moment, right? It looks like nothing is going on.
Right.
But the thing is, Queen D1. She has ideas of like Queen B1 and Rook D1, and suddenly orchestrating these like back rank ideas. And there's so many ways I can blunder Rook with a check or blunder the H5 pawn. So no, I didn't find this like easy at all. In fact, I felt like this was like the hardest part of the game for me.
Wow. Okay. But you kept your composure. You kept it all together, and now you're the champions of the champions bracket. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels really good. Yes, I'm happy, and I'm, I feel like this was a good first part of the tournament, and now I get a little break, and I just want to continue that.
Wonderful, Irina.
Well, congratulations, Irina.
Congratulations.
I'm definitely very impressed with her chess. If that
Yes.
I mean, she's had no dangerous positions
Right.
in the tournament except for that moment against Begim a couple of rounds ago.